I'm all in it for this month of February. Hey, romance! Hey, it's February, Valentine's Day. There you go. That's my reasoning. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to talk about my February TBR. As with every TBR of mine anyway, it's kind of a gentle TBR. It's a maybe TBR. It's a hopeful TBR, but very often I will change my mind. I am just such a mood reader that I very often find myself halfway through the month wanting to go a completely different direction with the general kind of like theme or thought process that I wanted from the beginning of the month. So that said, from my TBR last month, we're gonna carry over a few that I didn't get to, but we're also gonna maybe move on to some new ones that maybe I would rather get to sooner than others. That makes sense? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into my February TBR. So the first book that I want to chat about that I'm going to be reading in the month of February that I've actually already started in January is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. So this is a memoir about the Pacific Crest Trail. So the Pacific Crest Trail, or the PCT, is a hiking trail that starts at the border of Mexico and California and goes all the way up to the border of Washington and Canada. It is like 2,500 miles, something like that. And very often people will section hike it, so they'll take small sections of it and try to hike all the way through, or they'll do an entire through hike where they hike the entire thing over the course of the summer. It's a common thing among people who are a little bit more like adventurous in their outdoor activities, but also in this regard, Cheryl Strayed discusses it as a way to find herself. So basically, we follow along as she is dealing with a lot of issues when she first decides to go on the trail. She is dealing with the death of her mother, and she's 25. She's also dealing with drug problems, with marriage problems, relationship problems, family issues, just a lot of things sort of combined to get her to the place where she decided that she just needed to do this trip for herself. So we follow along with her as she hikes this trail, and as it says on the front, she goes from lost to found. So far it's very good. Admittedly, the first like chapter or so was very sad, and I was kind of like, ooh, I need an emotional break for a moment. I needed to like, you know, watch some happy TV to kind of help mediate, but yeah, it's really great so far, so I'm really looking forward to this one. So the next book that I'm hoping to read is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. So this book is an adult fantasy novel inspired by the pre-Columbian Americas. So we are inundated with lots of culture and mythology and folklore and etc., etc. And basically, from what I understand, which is not a lot about this one, is we follow along with a sort of cast of characters through these lands, and they are trying to reconnect with the gods. And one of the gods is supposedly going to return. There's a sort of prophecy. There seems to be lots of ship master, piratey, ocean kind of themes. And I mean, basically that's all I know, but I've heard that it's incredible. I am really excited for it. And I mean, just like, of course I bought it for the cover too. Cause like, look at that, it's gorgeous. Ooh, what's the hardback look like? I don't even know. Oh, well the hardback's kind of boring, but let's just pretend that we don't know that. Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's been on my shelf for about a month and a half now, and it's time. I think it's time. The next books that I want to chat about really quickly are two books that are sort of coming over from last month. One is the Amber Spyglass, which I am expecting to read on audiobook with Libby. It should be arriving hopefully in like a week or two in my holds section for Libby, so we shall see. But that will be continuing on with the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. And yeah, basically it's a middle grade series all about a fantasy world where there is a particular kind of particle that the world is very, very scared with. There are some people that believe that this particle could have to do with magnificent, scientific, and fantastical experiences. And there are other people that believe that it is an evil type of thing. And so we follow along with this young girl as she is sort of wrapped into this whole quest adventure, where it turns out that she actually has quite an important role that she might not necessarily be aware of yet. So this book is going to be the third and final book. I mean, the series has been around for ages. I'm just rereading this series, but I'm really looking forward to that. So that's the Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman. And then the next book that I want to chat about is Deathcaster by Cinda Williams-Chima. So Deathcaster is the fourth and final book to the A Shattered Realms series, which is a YA high fantasy series. We follow multiple perspectives. There's sort of an ongoing war on different fronts and different political relationships and different romances and lots of people meeting each other. Who do you trust? Who do you not trust? Etc., etc. It is very, very exciting. And I can't wait for the last book. Seriously, the minute it gets here, I might even put down whatever book I'm reading at that point so that I can just zero in on it, because I want to read it so badly. The next book that I am going, sorry, if I keep looking away from the camera, it's because my cat is a little bit wild right now. She's just being nuts. Oh my God. Can you see her? What are you doing? What are you doing? She's like, who, me? I'm not doing anything. I guess that's the way to get her to calm down, is just put her in the spotlight. Anyway, the next book that I want to chat about and that I'm hoping to read this month is A Court of Wings and Ruin. So this one is kind of continuing on from last month. I intended to read it, but to be completely honest, part of me wants to read this because I'm interested in the story, but part of me just wants to, I'm having a little bit of book FOMO because the fourth one is going to be coming out soon. If you know anything about the Court of Thorns and Roses series, the Sarah J Maas sort of epidemic that is going through the world right now, and has been for the last few years, the fourth book of this series is coming out in February this month, and I have the intention of wanting to read it, but I'm going to give A Court of Wings and Ruin a run through, and we'll see how I feel at the end of it, because I also saw an interview where Sarah J Maas said that she has no idea how many books are going to be in this series now. Like, it could be as many as Throne of Glass, and I'm not in it for that long haul. I'm not. I don't really care enough about it. So we'll see how it goes. I think I'm gonna try and get through this month, and see what I'm feeling. The last book that I want to chat through for this TBR is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. So this is also an extremely popular YA fantasy story about a sort of Roman-inspired, war-centered, hate to love, lots of angsty romance situation, I believe. The fourth and final book of this series recently came out. I believe it was can't remember if it was in December or January, but basically I'm kind of behind. This is a long-awaited series for me that I just haven't gotten into yet, so it's time. I think this month is time. I'm really going all out with like the fantasy, the YA, the give me some hate to love romance. I'm all in it for this month of February. Hey, romance! Hey, it's February, Valentine's Day. There you go. That's my reasoning. Anyway, we shall see how it goes. I'm very, very excited. I have just heard that this story, and Sabaa Tahir in particular, does an incredible job at keeping characters apart in the most like heart-wrenching but motivating way. So I'm interested to see what all the hype is about. Thank you so much for watching today, you guys. That is the end of my February TBR. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you think of them. Let me know if they're on any of your TBRs. We can chat about it. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe down below. We're slowly growing our little family, and it's just so fun and so exciting. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.